Today, 5 infographics presenting the largest oil producers. All infographics are from visualcapitalist.com. The first infographic presents the oil-producing countries as of 2022. The unit of measurement is barrels per day. Countries associated in the OPEC cartel are presented in an orange circle, OPEC plus countries in blue, and independent countries in red. The infographic presents production by regions of the world. We see that the Middle East produces the most, then North America, then Russia and the former Soviet republics, Asia Pacific, Africa, South America, and the least Europe. Today, only 3% of the world's resources are mined in Europe. Did you know that the pioneer of oil processing was the Pole Ignacy Łukasiewicz, who founded the world's first oil mine? Now let's look at the barrel. The United States pours the most oil into it, almost 18 million barrels a day. The United States is also the largest consumer of oil. Saudi Arabia is in second place. Over 12 million barrels a day. Russia closes the podium, with over 11 million barrels per day. And this is the first league of oil producers in the world. 7 countries play in the second league: Canada, 5.5 million barrels, Iraq, 4.5 million, China, over 4 million barrels, the United Arab Emirates 4 million, Iran, almost 4 million, Brazil, over 3 million barrels and Kuwait 3 millions of barrels. We have already named 10 countries that extract 70% of the world's oil. In the third league are Mexico, Norway, Kazakhstan, Qatar, Algeria, Nigeria, Angola, Libya, Oman, producing from 1 to 2 million barrels a day. Please note that the largest oil producers in Europe, Norway and Great Britain, do not belong to the European Union. Has the information provided changed in 2023? The next infographic shows the top 10 oil-producing countries in the year 2023. The same lineup as last year. The changes among first and second league players can be seen in the next infographic. Russia significantly reduced its production in the 1990s, but since the beginning of the millennium it has leveled its production and has maintained it at the same level as Saudi Arabia for 20 years. The United States saw a deep decline in production from the 1990s to 2008. Since then, mining has increased significantly thanks to the use of new mining methods. The second league countries have become more similar in terms of global market share over the last 3 decades. Today, each of them is responsible for between 3.5% and 5.5% of global production. 30 years ago, the differences between them were greater than today. And what does it look like if we go down from the level of states to the level of oil companies? In terms of capitalization, Saudi Aramco dominates, almost $2 trillion. The American ExxonMobil, second in the ranking, has a capitalization equivalent to 1/4 of the value of the Saudi concern. The third place is the American Chevron. Then PetroChina, British Dutch Shell, French Total, American ConocoPhillips, British BP and Chinese Sinopec. Although European countries fare poorly at the level of oil-producing countries, in terms of the value of oil industry companies, 3 European companies are among the 9 largest players in the world. It should be emphasized that the companies presented in this infographic are not only engaged in oil extraction, but also in its distribution and processing. That is why European companies are so large despite the modest share of their home countries in oil production itself. The last infographic shows how profitable the oil extraction and processing industry is. We see 25 American companies with the highest profits per employee. Different industries are marked with colors. Purple, energy sector, which in relation to the American Stock Exchange means producers and processors of oil and gas. This is an important distinction for investors in U.S. stocks. There, producers of energy from sources other than oil are placed in the utilities category. The financial industry is marked in yellow, technology in orange, construction in red and health in green. 10 of the 12 most profitable companies, and 12 of the 20 companies with the highest profits per employee, are oil companies. The energy sector, in the narrow American sense of the word, dominates this infographic. Even technology giants, whose capitalization is by far the largest on the American Stock Exchange, do not generate as much profit per employee as the oil extraction sector. Now subscribe to this channel so you don't miss other interesting infographics.